You've been there, right? You spend hours, maybe even days, getting your resume just right. You send it off for what seems like the perfect job, and then crickets. Complete silence. It is one of the most maddening parts of the job search. But what if I told you the problem isn't you? What if the problem is that you're not writing for your first reader because that reader isn't even human?
You know you have the skills, you've got the experience, so why does it feel like your application just vanishes into some kind of digital black hole? Well, the answer might surprise you, and it has almost nothing to do with an actual person.
Because a shocking 75% of resumes get rejected before a human being ever lays eyes on them. Think about that. 3 out of every 4 applications you send are probably being filtered out by a machine. This is the new reality of job hunting. These digital gatekeepers are called Applicant Tracking Systems, or ATS for short, and they are for sure everywhere. We're talking nearly all of the big companies and tons of smaller ones too. They use this software to scan, sort, and rank every single application they get. So your first hurdle isn't impressing a recruiter, it's getting past a piece of software. So this brings us to the most important idea we're going to talk about today. Your resume has 2 totally different audiences. You've got the bot and you've got the human. And if you want to land an interview, you absolutely have to win over both of them. And let me tell you, these 2 could not be more different. On one hand, the ATS robot is all about data. It's looking for specific keywords, super simple formatting, and exact phrases from the job description. On the other hand, the human recruiter is looking for a story. They want to see your impact, your potential, all in a resume that's actually easy and enjoyable to read. The trick is making one document that speaks to both. Okay, so let's start with audience number 1, the robot. Getting past the ATS scan isn't about trying to trick the software. Not at all. It's just about communicating your skills and qualifications in a way the machine can easily understand. First up, formatting. The ATS gets really confused by fancy designs. Things like columns, tables, graphics, they just can't read them. So you want to stick to a clean, simple, single-column layout. Use standard fonts everyone knows. And here's a huge one. Do not put your contact info in the header or footer of the document. A lot of these systems just can't read that data, which means a recruiter won't even know how to get in touch with you.
All right, next up, keywords. This is the big one. The ATS is literally programmed to score your resume based on how well it matches the job description. So you need to become a keyword detective. First, go through that job posting and pull out all the key skills and phrases. Then weave those exact words, and I mean exact, no synonyms, into your resume. But be smart about it. Don't just cram them in there. That's called keyword stuffing, and any human who sees it will toss your resume right in the trash.
And this quote from the interview guys really just hits the nail on the head. You're not trying to game the system. You're just translating your awesome experience into a language that both the bot and the human can understand. Okay, you did it. You made it past the ATS. High five. But now the real challenge begins, winning over the human. And get this, you don't have a lot of time. Research shows that recruiters spend, on average, just 7 seconds scanning a resume for the first time. 7! You have to make an impact, and you have to do it fast. So let's look at a super common bullet point. This one describes a task. It's kind of passive, it's vague, and you know what? It's boring. It tells the recruiter what your job was, but it says nothing about what you actually accomplished.
Now, look at this. Same experience, but completely transformed. This tells a story of impact. It uses powerful action verbs, and this is the most important part, quantifiable results. Numbers just pop off the page. A 40% growth? A 25% increase? Now, that's a story of value, and that's what gets you the interview.
So how do you write bullet points like that? Well, there's a fantastic little framework called the STAR method. For any big accomplishment, just think through the situation or task you were in, the specific action you personally took, and the result, the measurable outcome. It's a simple trick that forces you to focus on what really matters, your achievements. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. This is all great, but what if I'm a student or I'm trying to change careers? How do you show that kind of impact when you don't have a long list of traditional jobs? This is a massive point of anxiety for so many people, but the secret is you probably have way more experience than you think. You just have to learn how to talk about it in the right way.
And the key here is focusing on your transferable skills. These are things you've learned in one place, like a class project, a club, or volunteer work that are super valuable to an employer. We're talking about skills like project management, communication, teamwork, data analysis. You get the idea.
So instead of a work experience section, why not create a projects section? Check out this example. This person ran a social media campaign as a personal project. Look at all the amazing skills they're showing off: content creation, marketing, community engagement, and they even have a quantifiable result: 300 new followers in a month. That is way more impressive than a generic entry about a part-time job.
All right, we're almost at the finish line. You've written for the bot, you've crafted compelling stories for the human. Now, before you even think about hitting that submit button, let's run through a quick final check to make sure you're not making any simple mistakes. Okay, time for a lightning round review. Does every bullet point kick off with a strong action verb? Did you customize the keywords specifically for this job? Is the whole thing easy to read? Did you proofread it? And then, did you have a friend proofread it too? Oh, by the way, that old one-page rule? Total myth. If you have years of relevant experience, 2 pages is absolutely fine, as long as every single line is adding value. And that really brings us to our final and maybe most important takeaway. A resume isn't just a boring record of your past jobs. It's a marketing document. It's a proposal for what you can do for a company in the future. So as you go back and work on your own resume, I want you to ask yourself this one question. What's your